This time on Captain Castle's Laboratory, we're going to be working on a holiday living I Spy Santa. So I have to look at the box because it looks like a Limax piece. The packaging, the whole thing, I thought was Limax, but apparently it says Holiday Living, which may be a subsidiary company of Limax. I don't know. But it's 12 volts AC, so it doesn't use the standard 4.5. I was told it wasn't working right. This is a massive piece and it's really heavy. Like, we're talking, there's some good gravity in this one. But I'm going to turn it this way so you can see where the front is. My first issue with it is I can't test it. It's because the power ports fell inside. So I can't plug it in. So I'm going to have to open it up at least to fix that part. And here's the back, which is upside down. But you get the point. The kids are staring through the window to see Santa Claus. And it looks like it's on a turntable. So I'll hold this thing, I'll put it down. And then the base isn't moving, but there you go. So first things first, we got to figure out how to get into this. So I can fix this recessed power port that's fallen inside this little hole right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it on its side like so that the actual frame will help hold it up. And take a look at the bottom here. Get rid of some of this foam from the packaging. It's an older piece. I don't know the exact year, but the foam is definitely disintegrating. I see 6 screws on the bottom. Sorry, I see 9 screws on the bottom. There's 3 in the center and then 3 in the feet. So I'm going to take out the 6 in the center first just to see if we can get access inside the base here to fix that plug. That might be the whole problem. Maybe the problem they were having was when they're pushing it in, it wasn't making good connection because it literally was pushing in the entire thing. Oh, I feel everything separating. Oh, that comes apart pretty simply. That's amazing. All right. Let's get some of these screws that got stuck in the holes out of the way. There's one more right here. Okay, now, this is a little bit lighter now. I just took out these 6 screws. These 3 screws just hold it to the resin base. And here is our power port right there. It's broke free of all its glue. So this is just held in by glue. That's kind of a really crappy design. There's nothing in here to reinforce it. It transfers everything through the contact pads because it's got a big old rotor on the bottom. Oh, feel how heavy that is. Right there's that nice dirty ring. Let's get rid of some of this foam and crap from there. There we go. That's the problem with the foam cases is when they get old, they deteriorate and the little foam BBs get in everything. Now, if you have to take the rest of this apart, you got some screws around the edges right here. That'll take out the outer ring, which allows you to get to the inner ring. And once you're in there, it's just wires that go up to the lights. But this outer ring right here is glued on. It's like really thick resin glue around it. Hopefully, you don't have to do anything. The motor's here, which is 12 volts AC. Big old gear on the top. It's a D or cammed motor, which means that the letter D or the D shaft is what's holding the gear on. You have your negative and positive contacts. You probably have 2 just to ensure good connection. because there's only 2 tracks. So if one starts to slip, the other one will give you good connectivity so you don't lose your lighting effects. Circuit board looks okay. We got 1 screw right there to hold it in. These don't look too bad. Their outer ones are bent down for some reason. I'm going to push them up a hair. So before we hook it up, if I have enough slack here, let's plug it in and let's see if this motor turns. Wires are still intact, I think. Get rid of the glue. Yeah, wires are still intact. That's a really thin wire. Wow. You know what? I'm going to stick it back in its hole and push it through. I don't want to break that wire. That's a really, really thin wire. Got it to realign into its hole. So it is recessed in the hole. So now it's flush. What I'm going to do is put my thumb on the back of it or a finger and I'm going to plug her in. And I want to see if this works and that works, of course. And if it all works, then we're just going to use a really good super glue to bond it all back together. So here's the 12-volt AC plug. Just, I better say AC. Just says 12 volts. Oh, nope, says it right down the top. AC adapter, 12 volts. Usually it says 12 volts AC here. This one actually says on the top. Alright, plug it in. There we go. Plug it in. Put my finger on the back. Here we go. Motor's turning. And that's it. There's no noise. Why does that have a speaker? There's no volume wheel. It's got a 2-position switch. So that'll do it every time. Look at your switch. It's left is on with noise and right is on with no noise. So now, just going to glue this in. I'm going to put a whole bunch of glue around it. I'm going to run a bead, let it dry or cool, and then I'm going to run another bead, and I'm just going to, like a welder, I'm going to build it up. And I'm going to build up a wall that'll hold this in place. And then we'll put that back on and see if that lights up. So this might be a really quick repair. So we're going to pause it while I do all the gluing, unless you want to watch. I don't see why. But if you look, I'm going to unplug that. You can just barely see the remnants of glue that was in here, plus that piece that I pulled out with the tweezers, wherever it rolled off to. So there's not a lot of glue holding that in. There's not even a lot of glue holding in the selector switch. So I might just put a whole bead around the whole thing, kind of fill it in, especially where the resin's chipped up here and there's no lip to hold it. So just to show you what I'm going to do. We'll see how much of this glue stick I use. You can see how much is left. So, all right, we'll be back in just a minute. Possibly the shortest repair ever on this channel. There we go. And there's no volume control, so I can't adjust it, but there's some low light. So I think the only big issue was the power port and all the crap stuck inside the teeth in the rotor. It's got a lot of lights, and it changes songs. Make it a little darker in here. So all the lights flash except for the star and the light post on this side. But everything else is flashing in a specific pattern based on the music. So the ones that go around the roof and the ones on the tree. It's actually a pretty cool piece. I like the lights. The camera doesn't pick it up as nice as it looks in person. Just a big heavy piece. Apparently it has a lot of songs. And here's the light post, which you really can't see. I'm going to try and tip it. See it? Right there. Lights coming back. So, this was the Holiday Living I Spy Santa piece from I have no idea when. Let me see if the box has it. It says 0717. Then it says June 2017. So, I'm going to go with 17. Here's the manual. I don't think the manual has a date on it. Nope. Just has in 3 different languages how to turn it on, use the switch, and how to check for issues if it doesn't work. That's it. So it still flashes to the music, even though there's no music when you flip it to the second side. But that'll conclude it. So, I mean, this is like another 20-some-odd minute video, which is rare. But there you go. So, power port broke. I just built up the glue. Here's how much of the arc is left. So, it used a couple inches. I layered it, put a little bit around the switch to help reinforce the switch. Layered it, let it cool, layered it, let it cool, layered it. I laid 3 layers. So, almost the entire thing is encased in glue from top to bottom to where it's structural, not just there. So take it apart. Just take out the center 6 screws. Careful, because once it does, the heavy part, which is this top mass, will want to just fall out. Everything's in the bottom. The only reason you have to take out the inner rings is if you have to replace the wiring or fix the wiring, and it goes up to all the LEDs on both sides of this little display. So, till the next one, thanks for watching.